All right, so let's get started. AY wants to enter your DM, but does not know how to enter your DM. He called they use corners.
Who is that?
Check what three group now. He said, I said my when he said beautiful Yoruba lady, Baba Congo, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Meaning drop picture for us. Solo do.
Who
All
is that?
right, huh?
Who is that?
AY on the quad three group.
I don't know the person.
The honest truth is, while you get your device up, because I want it to be practical, I don't just want me to be the one doing it here. Okay, so right now, product management is dead. That's the honest truth. Product management is dead because there are so many AI tools out there. At least you were preview to it the day I told you to write a PRD and submit as an assignment as a product management student. Are you there?
I am.
Okay, so ChatGPT will give you product requirement documentation in 2 seconds. You get for any product, tell it to give you product requirement document for a product like Gmail or even any Amazon product. I was at the hospital a couple of let's say weeks ago. I went to do a dental appointment, and there was a software. It was called Amazon software where you put your palm over it, and literally next time I go to the hospital, all I have to do is just put the palm over the device, like a digital device, and it has all my information. Like I even use my palm to make payments.
That big.
People get a job. You come into the app, you get a job within 4-5 days. You go through the screening, we check for your criminal record, we check for your credit history, we check for your CV. An AI bot will interview you. Nobody is interviewing you physically on Niger Work. It's if you are smart, but you now know that these days AI has taken over a lot. But I want to dig deep into using this Amazon palm recognition technology as a case study today. So now, the headline said, "How about ChatGPT for product managers?" And the reason why I said, "Well, how about ChatGPT for product managers?" is because a lot of product managers are already using ChatGPT. But do we have a ChatGPT for product managers? Do you know of any ChatGPT products or product managers?
No.
Okay, interesting. All right, so I want you to go to your phone and type chat PRD. PRD. And you can share your screen, that would be nice so we can go through it together. So as I was saying, while you're looking for the Amazon, for the ChatGPT PRD, this Amazon palm recognition, ChatGPT is telling me as of my last update, Amazon has been expanding the use of its Amazon One palm recognition device, a biometric authentication system that lets users identify themselves using the unique features of their palm. It is used primarily for payment system, e.g., Amazon Go stores, event access, office, or secure building entry. So if NYU Lagoon Health is exploring or piloting this technology, it will likely be in areas such as streamline patient check-in, which is what they did for me. So now anytime I go back to NYU Lagoon, which I'm going back, I think, for an appointment on the 9th of June, and then I'm removing my teeth on my birthday, June 19th. So I can easily just check in. I don't have to fill any form on the app. I just go there. Just ask all my details, a secure access to medical facilities, biometric verification for staff, and patient identity. And then it went on to say frictionless authentication for medical records, because medical records are key. You get, and that's what I've been talking about. You get, for our system in Africa, we build products, and then after we build product is when we think of the product market fit. We're just like a rich man in Africa just goes, oh, you know what? I have money. Let me build an app that helps people to, I don't know, find houses better. And then they build one product. But the way that product works in America is different from the way it works in Africa or works in Europe. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, so have you pulled up ChatPRD?
My network is slow. I'm trying to use my laptop, so it's slow. But when I do, I'll tell you.
Okay, good. So now, what we're trying to do at Niger Work is be able to provide, like I said, employment for people based on their location within a week. Once you sign up, after signing up, you're able to upload, you get pictures of yourself in clothing that people need. So, for example, if you want to be an usher, upload yourself in a white and black shirt. And then the event people see that, okay, this guy has a white and black shirt. You promise to be available for the event. You know the consequences if you're not available for the event. You probably get blocked. You get, after a couple of strikes, you can't get job a good. But imagine, I remember back then when I was in my second degree at University of Lagos, girls made close to sometimes 40K per day being ushers on the island. Now imagine a way to formalize that informal sector such that even the Nigerian government can get revenue from those underground informal sector. I'll explain. So if go right now and you're a cameraman and you are called last minute to come and shoot a birthday party, and then they transfer 200,000 naira to you for shooting a birthday party for 8 hours. That's roughly about 25K per hour, right? Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, now so the Nigerian government, even though they are terrible, we saw what they are doing with the budget and everything, having so much what's the word I'm looking for here? Just padding of the budget. People are suffering, and my guys are padding the budget. I mean, it's actually ridiculous. But let's put that aside. If you are the budget from 24 billion naira to 291 billion and people cannot eat, shows how evil you are. Or if you are adding projects that what over, I think they said 1.72 trillion naira tucked into allocations, it just shows how evil they are. But then at the same time, for a government to work, for any government to work, you need taxes. So if you notice, most states that do very well, Lagos State, Port Harcourt, that's River State, they are able to generate a lot of internal revenue. So what we're trying to do at Niger Work is for every of the 700 and I think 43 local governments in Nigeria, I'm not sure of the number, we are able to partner with the state inland revenue of the 36 states. Are you with me?
Yes.
Okay, so when we partner with all the inland revenue, so that's like Lagos Inland Revenue Services, which is obviously the biggest one in terms of revenue making. There's an echo somewhere.
I'll mute myself.
Okay, so if you have all these OGU internal revenue services or internal revenue services work with Niger Work to be able to have their forms, their tax forms integrated into Niger Work, such that anybody that makes money, for say a photographer that makes 200,000 naira from working 8 hours for a wedding or a birthday, there's about a percentage that he knows is not his. They say give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. But now linking it back to product management is you as a product manager, your job is to be the advocate for the consumer. So you think naturally somebody tells you, now come and make 200,000 naira here, and I will tax you, I don't know, 50K. So you go with 150,000 naira, the government will take 50K, and you understand. Nigeria work won't take anything. Nigeria work will make their money mainly from the person that needs your services, the business or the organization. You feel that that's okay. But you see, the climate we are in Nigeria is a very different climate from Western world, and let me just put it that way. A typical Nigerian would he think in his head, I'm working 8 hours a day. That's how I tell people product management is dead. It's actually dead. What we are not going to be thinking of right now is how to use the best AI tools to think 3, 4, 10 years down the line and think of what the consumer needs. And what I mean, what the consumer needs, 10 years from now, the people that will be using Nigeria Work will be people that are currently in primary school right now. How do I get into their head to know the kind of design that will be appealing to a 5-year-old right now? Because by the time that 5-year-old in 10 years' time is 15, I should be building Nigeria Work for him so that when he gets off school at 2 o'clock from a secondary school, he can quickly pick up a 3-hour job, make maybe 5,000 naira an hour, 15,000 naira, and he doesn't have to disturb his parents for money. That's the goal of Nigeria Work. Or pick up a job as a server at a restaurant, pick up a job. It's just the informal sector. And eventually, maybe we even go and do formal sector. Maybe a student at University of Port Harcourt needs to be able to get a few naira and doesn't want to be an quote-unquote OS. We all know what an OS is. I don't want to mention it on here. So says I have classes from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Well, I have the whole day in the morning on Thursdays. Why don't I get a temp job as a receptionist in an hospital? The hospital comes to Nigeria Work, but the hospital we're going to be dealing with is the hospital 10 years from now. So as product managers, we have to be able to think down the line, not just use what AI is giving us. Now going back to my backstory of the Amazon palm recognition technology called Amazon One. It says that frictionless, that's what ChatGPT is giving me here. I'm just reading from ChatGPT. Frictionless authentication for medical records. However, I don't find a confirmed public announcement as of now linking Amazon One directly with NYU Lagoon. Well, I have internal information because the hospital I use is the New York University Lagoon. I think that's what NYU stands for. You get so. And it's asking me, would you like me to check for recent updates on this topic or draft a partnership proposal between Amazon and NYU Lagoon? So now let me now read from my email. You get to show you that ChatGPT is not even up to date because that's what they call insider information. You get to NYU Lagoon, and then let me type Amazon One on my email. Right, so that was sent on the 10th of April 2025. And then it says it's an important clarification. It caused so much chaos when they first sent the first notification to us over the NYU email list. So they have to make a clarification. An important clarification about a recent Amazon One medical email sent to my email from NYU Lagoon Hospitals. And it says, recently you may have received an email from Amazon One Medical encouraging Amazon Prime members to sign up for One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy services. We want to ensure you that this email is entirely unrelated to NYU Lagoon Health and our use of the Amazon One service for patient check-in. The email you received is linked to your Amazon Prime account, and it is not connected to NYU Lagoon in any way. If you choose to ignore this email and not sign up for these services, please know that it will have absolutely no impact on the services or care you receive from NYU Lagoon. In other words, your privacy and security remain our top priority because privacy is big in medical records. We understand the timing and the content of the Amazon One medical email may have caused some confusion. Now, that confusion was caused by the product managers and the product marketing team not working in sync from the beginning. Whenever you want to release a product, the first thing as a product manager you have to think of is three things. You always have to think of three things every time you are releasing a feature, a new feature, whether it's a add-on or removing a feature. How many times have you heard of a company recalling back a product, like a car or something? Have you heard that before? Has anybody heard that before here? You like say, "Oh, this product is bad. We are recalling it." I want this to be interactive, so let's talk. Have you heard of them recalling a product before? I'm waiting. I think we need to unmute whoever is talking. Okay. Maybe unmuting is not working from your hand.
I can hear you, sir. What
So
did you say?
have you heard of anybody saying unmuting? I said unmuting, on recalling a product, like a company, like a car recalling a product, a blender, a blender company recalling a blender because it's causing firearm. Have you heard of that before?
No.
Okay, interesting. Well, they do that a lot. If you just Google product recalled. So what's going on here with this product that is an Amazon One service for patient check-in is there was no alignment, proper alignment between the product management team and the product marketing team. So the first question we have to ask ourselves is, what is the difference between product management, are you with me, and
Yes.
product marketing? So can you like just off the word marketing management, can you tell me what you feel the difference is?
Marketing management and
No, like what's the difference between like product management and product marketing?
marketing is like pushing out either a product or a service.
Good. You're right. And how about product management?
Management is more like the feedbacks, what are customers, are they satisfied by the product, just managing the product, what people think about it, how to improve, and that.
Perfect. You're a good student of product management at CHSG Academy. You've been reading your notes. So I mean, the honest truth is, if we are being thorough, a the reason why Amazon product didn't hit the consumer with excitement, even though it's an exciting add-on, why NYU Lagoon customers were confused, was because they did not think very well. There wasn't a tight collaboration to alleviate the security concerns and privacy concerns that consumers will have. So we at Niger Work, what we've tried to do is, I as a product manager at Niger Work, I have to have a tight collaboration between me, the product manager, and then the product marketing team. You know, while I'm ensuring that the product meets users' needs, the product management marketing team, they're ensuring that those needs are clearly communicated. So me and Mr. Emmanuel Thomas now, we've been on our neck, each other's neck. I want a Niger Walk flyer. You get, because I'm doubling as both product manager at Niger Walk and the founder of Niger Walk. I want a clearly communicated flyer to the right audience at the right time, saying Naija work will get you a job in 5 days. Are you with me?
Yes.
But if I'm not careful to make sure that I have a tight collaboration with Mr. Emmanuel Thomas, who is our product marketer, I might eat a friction the same way NYU Lagoon eats the friction. And I'll explain. I, as the product manager, let's think of my primary goal. My primary goal is to build the right product. I'm always the consumer advocate. I told you I'm advocating for the 5-year-old right now. So my son, who is 8 year old, in 10 years' time will be 18, will probably be in year 2 in college or year 3 in college, and will need a college job. One of our students at CHSG Academy is in California right now, and they just finished our finals yesterday. And the next thing when she was on the call with me was, Mr. Shane, I need a job. And in my head, I just went back and I said, this is the person I'm building Nigeria Work for. Because Nigeria Work is not just to get jobs in Nigeria. Nigeria Work is to get jobs anywhere. Her, as a biological student, she should be able to open Nigeria Work in her location, and people that need our services as a lab temp attendant should be able to give her a job. Eventually, I was talking to somebody at ProductCon yesterday, and she was like, why is this product not expanding all over Africa? I'm like, do the comms, man. Let us first conquer Nigeria. She's like, well, people need jobs. Why don't you do South Africa work, Africa work? I'm like, calm down. But then I started thinking about it yesterday at ProductCon, and I was like, this woman might be onto something. Because the primary goal of me as a product manager is to build the right product first. The right audience are then communicated to through the product marketers. But as I'm building the right product, the product marketing team, okay, headed by Mr. Emmanuel Thomas, they are telling the world about that right product effectively. Are we all still with me?
Yes.
All right. So now that's the primary goal. If you have any questions, just use the chat box. And for those that will watch on YouTube later, you can always what's the word I'm looking for? You can always send me an email, or I'm always on Twitter at Creative Show. So I don't do Instagram, I don't do Twitter, I don't do Facebook. I'm on Twitter. And you can always send me an email, shane@chsgtech.com. Now let's now go to another aspect. Yeah, to try and know the difference between I, the product manager at Nigeria Work, and the product marketing team, which is Mr. Timmy, our video content, social media, Mr. Emmanuel Thomas, our creative head, all these product marketers, you understand? Because people keep mistaking product management for marketing, and they are very different. Now, for the key stakeholders in product management, they are the engineering team. That will be Mr. Great, Mr. Solomon. The design team, that will be Mr. My namesake, Mr. Oluwaseun. We call him Real Touch. And they say I'm making this practical and real because, I mean, to an extent, like, these people are some people you work with as our day-to-day operation goes. Nigeria Work, by the way, is a product being built by CHSG Technologies, and also the quality assurance, the QAs. So the QAs will be someone like our head of operations, engineer Esther Joshua, our head of quality assurance, and all that. But in terms of the key stakeholders for the product marketing, they are quite different. The key stakeholders for the product marketing are the sales team. And for our sales team, you're part of those teams. You're people that are in touch with our potential customers, which will be businesses that want to hire temp workers. You're in touch with marketing teams. You understand? So you're in touch with customer success. That's what you do a lot. So are we seeing the difference now between this product management and the product marketing? Any questions?
No, sir.
Are you sure? No questions.
For now, no.
Okay. Hope you're taking notes. Well, this
Yeah.
is recorded, so you can always come back to it. Now we're still going to link this back to now the everyday tools because the tools are not the cocoa. Let me put it that way. Sorry for our international audience. The tools are not the people. People are so focused on the cutlass, they don't think why is the tree being cut down. Why is the tree being cut down? The tree eventually can become coal. The tree eventually can become furniture. So you as a product manager have to be able to work with the key stakeholders, the engineering, the design, the quality assurance, to know, okay, now let's now go to the success metrics. Yeah, in my class last year, I dealt heavily on success metrics, like heavily on success metrics, because literally the way product management is going, even though it's dead, I keep saying it, product management is dead because the AI tools are out there. Let's now go back to the example of NYU Lagoon's Amazon. Have you been able to open Chat PRD? And can you
Yes.
share? Can you share your screen?
Okay.
Yes. All right, perfect. So the first thing we want to do in Chat PRD is create your own profile. So why don't you create your profile? Tell them what you do. Yeah, that will help you. Will help the AI. Will help the AI create better documents for you. So I want you to create your profile. Tell them the organization you work with. You can tell them your product management associate. Yeah, so your profile is the most important thing. You can click on just click on my account. Click on my account, like personal accounts. The left hand corner,
Okay.
left, yeah. So create organization. All right. So you see how it's already asking you immediately for the logo of CHSG or for the logo of Niger Work, because it wants the document it will be preparing for you. You get, so just find the logo of anything on your system. You can go to nigerwork.com or CHSG, download the logo. You can see how practical this is. And while you do that, um, I will, what's the word I'm looking for here? Okay. Austin is here. Hey, Pay is here. Pay, you will pay for these services, even though you're a lecturer in CHSG Academy. Oga Austin, how are you?
Mr.
Austin is
Shehu,
okay.
Mr. Shehu, what's up?
You are in traffic. You are in Lagos traffic.
Yeah, yeah, I'm on my way for the
All right. So I
office.
was just sharing with Miss Hope how to utilize Chat PRD. When you get off traffic and you get home, you can also rewatch the video. The video will be shared on YouTube, and you can get. So the first thing I told her was you create a profile for yourself. So she has done that. Now let's now say at Amazon NYU Lagoon, like I was talking about. So you've created that right now. Let's not, like I said, let's not focus too much on the tool. Let's not focus too much on the chainsaw. Why is the chainsaw being used to cut the tree? Is what we should be focused at. As product managers, we're always thinking down the line, 10 years down the line. Who are the products? Who are the users? You can leave the chat PRD there. Who are the users that are going to be using it? And I made the example of Niger Walk, that we have to think 10 years down the line. That will be the 5 year old, the current 5 year old right now. 10 years down the line will have been 15 years old by then and will want to get a job after school. Maybe they're in SS2 and they want to make a quick bucks between 2 and 5 p.m. They go on Niger Walk. What kind of design would they want to see? You understand? We're not building for the present because product management, I keep saying, it is dead. AI, this chat PRD right now will do all the brainstorming, help you with a document, with a PRD, with a vision board, with everything. It will help you with do everything. So forget the tools. AI has taken over. Now let's now think. okay, if product management is dead, what can we now be doing as product managers right now to build innovation and not liability? What are the guardrails that we should put in place as we are building our product? Thankfully, we have like, you get all of us, I mean, top product managers in Nigeria here, Mr. Austin, at DLM Capital, for example, at Palipay, at My Sparklight. What can we be putting in place for SoFree Bank app such that 10 years down the line, the users of SoFree, who would they be like? What would their composition be like? So, how do we now use the product tools that we have, the Jira, the Confluence, the Asana, the Chat PRD? How do we use it to predict the future? So, product management has almost now turned to, you are literally going down the line, like down the line, and now saying, okay, as a product manager, I'm now looking more at the numbers than ever before. That's why I tell a lot of product managers to get data analytics certification. Not just know data analytics, get a certification. Because when you're dealing in the aspect of success metrics for product management, it is all about retention, retention, retention. Leave feature usage. People can come and use your feature, but are they staying? Like, are we with me? Is everybody with me here so far? I want to make sure that I've not lost anybody. I know we are 37 minutes into this, but this might be a long class. I just want to like distill everything.
We're
Get
here.
okay. So if you think about the usage, anybody can come boom and hit palipay.com. Hit palipay.com, just boom, hit palipay.com, hit palipay.com. But what of the retention? The retention is what we as product managers have to constantly keep thinking about. What is our net promoter score? Now, if okay, let me slow down, because I'm not only talking to product managers, other people that are not product managers might get be listening to this. Net promoter score, we call it NPS or whatever you want to call it, like, is, how will I explain this? It's a popular customer loyalty and satisfaction metric. Let's just put it that way. And it's used by us product managers, it's used by product marketers and businesses to, how will I make it simple? Measure how likely customers are to recommend your products or service to others. So when you're thinking about NPS score, the core NPS question is always, on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend Niger Walk to a friend or a colleague? How likely are you to recommend Palipay to a friend or colleague? How likely are you to recommend SoFree Bank app at DLM Capital? So how it is calculated is basically, you have promoters who pick between 9 and 10. When they say on a scale of 0 to 10, those are the loyal people. They're loyal die. Who will, like, they'll keep buying and they'll keep preferring. That's why when you enter the OPay app, you see them say refer. You see, that's why they have a referral code on Let Me Fi to send money. They even give you money. Like when I opened my Let Me Fi and I sent $100 the first time from New York to Nigeria, they gave me $20 because I am a promoter. Then you have the passive ones, like, yeah, satisfied but not so excited. They are not so enthusiastic. You get, those are like the 7 to 8. Then you have the detractors. They are the unhappy customers. And remember, we are the customer advocate too. As PMs, as PM associates, we are the customer advocates. So when you have unhappy customers who can damage your brand through negative word of mouth or more, is not good. So NPS is just the percent of promoters minus the percent of detractors. So for example, now let's say at SoFree Bank app, we have 60 promoters, and then we have 60% promoters. That's the percentage of promoters that chose 9 to 10. You get, on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend SoFree Bank app? Now, so the NPS, which is the net promoter score, will now say promoters at 60%. 60% of the people that fill the survey, or 60% of people that use our products, are promoters. 20% of so-free bank apps are detractors. So the NPS will now be 60% of the promoters minus 20% of the detractors, which is plus 40. Now, this is why it matters. It's not just about the analytics. I keep telling you, it's not about how sharp the saw is to cut the tree. Why does it matter? These metrics matter. Because product management tracks how well your product will meet customer needs. Remember, you are thinking 10 years down the line. Will a 5-year-old, my son is 8-year-old, in 10 years' time, he'll be 18 and he'll be in college. I keep saying that. And he want to get a job between his classes. How well will Naija work help him get a job, even if he's not in Nigeria? If he's in, for example, in South Africa, in his university, or in the US, like, will the location-based services then be different? You have to think down the line. The location services are not the same as they were 10 years ago. So you have to almost go in the mind of technology providers and say, okay, palipay.com, who will be using it 10 years from now? Let's use Palipay as a case study. Okay, it will be people that want to do transactions across borders. Okay, are they going to be young people? Are they going to be older people? Obviously, most likely, the older people have the money, but the young people have the ideas. So it might be a mix. Okay, we now say, let's think of product marketing. You know, we are comparing product managers and product marketing. We're now saying, for product marketing, we have to be able to see brand perception. Like Palipay, how are they perceiving this brand? You get, from a UI appeal point of view, how are they perceiving this? Do they perceive this brand as too dark? You get, and if you're thinking about it, what are the effectiveness of all the brand marketing we are doing? What is the effectiveness of our go-to market strategy? You get, thank God Mr. Austin is a product go-to marketing specialist, is a product communicator extraordinary. You get, so we are always thinking our go-to market, our GTM strategies, how effective are they? That's what we're thinking in product marketing. Again, and it is not by just it's effective. No, it's a numbers game. Show me the numbers. Yeah, that's why NPS is so important. And then we now go to customer success. And when I mean customer success, we are monitoring satisfactions and we're identifying our churn risk and just knowing how to manage our success, how to manage the customer's experience. And of course, I mean, if you are being honest, you have to also get feedback, constant feedback. So you use that feedback. Again, that's why I like working in sprints, 2-week sprints. We build a feature on Palipay, like we're doing at CHSG Tech. We use feedback to now prioritize retention efforts. Okay, which features are users using more? Is this the send money? Is this the convert money? Is it the strike button? That's what our growth teams are now focused on. So you can use different things, like as a product manager, as you are building, you can use different things to collect your net promoter score. I mean, there are different tools out there. You can use, I like using just my normal type form. You understand? Type form, I love type form a lot. But I mean, there's Survey Monkey. You can use Survey Monkey. You can use Hotjar. You can use Zendex. You can use Delighted. There are a bunch of them out there. But if you want to have an effective way of using your net promoter score, you always want to follow up with an open-ended why question. Why will you recommend it? That's how you effectively effectively use your NPS. And then you segment your responses. So why will you recommend So Free? Why will you recommend Niger Walk? You want to get into the mind of that user. And then you must always segment responses. Yes, get. You always in that type form, you get. And that will be the assignment I'll be giving today. You get. Just for your product, Palipay, Niger Walk, whatever product you're working on, Hope, I think you're working on the SIAM app. You get in the mind of the people that want to use freight and forwarding. Freight and forwarding. Okay, who wants to use freight and forwarding? Why would they recommend the SIAM app? Why would they use SIAM app for their freight and forwarding and not go and meet a custom guy? Yeah, SIAMtransportlogistics.com. Why would they come there? You get. So it's not just about, yes, they will recommend SIAM app, but why? Then you segment those responses. So I'm already giving an assignment because we have just like 14 minutes left in this session. We'll continue probably on Saturday. This is Thursday. And for those watching on YouTube, you can send your answers to academy@chsgtech.com. So we segment responses by user type, by location. Are they in Kaduna? Are they in Germany? Are they in the United States? And when you segment those responses by user type, by location, or by the plan they are on, because there are different plans on So Free app. There are different plans on the SIAM app that Hope is working on. There are different plans on the Niger Walk. Yet for businesses, some businesses want to hire temp, some businesses want to hire what was the word I'm looking for? They want to hire full-time staff. Some businesses have less than 30 hours for you per week. Some businesses have just 8 hours per week for you. All those things, so that you can now properly use the tools, the plenty product management tools that we have now, the ChatGPT, to analyze the data. We had a session by Mrs. Bolanle Adeosun and Mr. John Alegbemi on all these amazing data analytics. I will encourage everybody that is listening to this, go to chsgtech.com/TV and watch that session. Everything is there. Like the content we are giving out at CHSG Academy for free. Sometimes I'm like, do I want to make money really? But it's for the ecosystem. We're doing all this for the ecosystem. So to bring it back home, you always keep using this NPS score effectively. You use feedback to guide the roadmap. I'll repeat that again. You use the feedback. You must keep getting feedback while you are building. I beg you, product managers out there, especially in Africa, we must use feedback to guide the roadmap, guide the messaging. You must use feedback. If you don't track your NPS over time, you're not just tracking the net promoter score once. You get bigger promoters. Do we have a plus 50 or we have a plus 10? You get. So if we are being honest with ourselves, product management is there. You get. But just to bring it back home, I'd said our primary goal is to build the right product as product managers. Whereas for product marketers, we are doing more of telling the world about it effectively. In terms of stakeholders, the key stakeholders for us are product management or product managers is the engineering team. Again, I mentioned Mr. Great, Mr. Solomon, the design team. That's a Niger work. I'm not using our people. The design team is the Mr. Oluwashe, my namesake, Real Touch, and then the Q&A people, Miss Esther Joshua, and all that. And then you now have, for the product marketing, you have the sales team, which is partly you get a lot of our recruiters that help recruit businesses on our platform, the Mr. Dolakwa Konde, the all these are recruiters, the marketing team, the customer success team. And then I was now at the success metrics. The reason why I spent so much time, I can spend 3 hour session on success metrics. I only went through MPS. I can spend 5 hours on MPS if we really want to dig down into MPS and like know that what's up. But there's attention span. Let's do it little by little. That's why our 12-week course, if we want to charge $5,000, is not what it is. Like, it's not enough. Let me put it that way. So we are doing it at $300. Why? Because we want products that will actually scale in the market. There's so many products out there. There's so many fintech products out there. There's so many agricultural products out there. There's a product right now that will help you sprinkle water on your grass at the right temperature. But are the users of those products ready to promote those products? Remember, I told you the 3 levels. The promoters are 9 to 10, the passives are 7 to 8, and the detractors are 0 to 6. In fact, most of the time you find out that unhappy customers now full our ecosystem, from Europe to US to Nigeria. They're just using it because they have to use your service, but they are not happy. There's a saying that goes, happy wife is what? Happy life. There was let me be vulnerable a little bit. About a few days ago, we were changing location for my wife's business. We just registered another entity with the Corporate Affairs Commission in Nigeria, and so we had like a new business, First Choice Marketplace. Almost like a marketplace, like a Jumia, anything. The registration came out and we're all excited. And I'm not like, okay, location wise, let's go and pay the landlord money. And then my wife was unhappy. And in my head, I'm going, what is wrong with this woman? Why are you unhappy? She's like, that location, there is no sales. I'm sure when my wife is listening to this voice note, she'll be like, why are you putting my business out? And she was literally crying on the phone. And here I was. If I still check my transcript, I could easily have been a electrical engineering and computer science major and an economics minor. I loved economics so much. Again, and one of the things they taught us in economics was diminishing return. So if you take your first bottle of Coke, it's so good. Second bottle of Coke, third bottle of Coke, it's the same thing with products. The first time you used Canva, you were like, hey, I'm sure the second time you used Canva, I was like, third time you used Canva, like, you get. By the fifth time, by the time Canva is giving you have designed 50,000, 50 designs, you're like, whatever. You get. So for me, I'll just bring it home by just saying, if you are building a product right now, I beg you in the name of God. I beg you in the name of God, clearly work tightly with your product marketing team so that you don't have the NYU, Lagoon, Amazon case where they release an amazing feature and they have to be sending out an email begging the customers about the confusion and privacy, medical records, all that stuff. It's a good product, but because they didn't have a tight collaboration, that's the key word. You get. While the time frame focus for the product manager, me at Niger Work, is now and the future. That's the roadmap. For my product marketing team of Mr. Emmanuel Thomas and Mr. Timmy, it is more on launch and go-to-market strategy. And I will spend a lot of time on go-to-market strategy as we go down in the semester. I'm going to be inviting some amazing speakers. Obviously, Mr. Austin is going to also speak. Our syllabus is changed, and the reason why it's changed is because of AI. AI has changed everything. In fact, every of our courses at CHSG Tech, you get. And I have about 4 more minutes here, and I want to keep the time. Has changed because of AI. Data analytics has changed because of AI. That's why you see our webinar series was Mr. Austin's talk last week. You get was focused on that also. AI has changed everything. You get so what you are saying your go-to-market strategy, which is for those who don't know about GTMs, is just a step-by-step plan that how do I put the English? It just says, okay, Nigeria work. How will we launch Nigeria work? That's what it is. At the right time, using the right messaging. So that is what those product marketers are focused on. But that is not product management. In also product management, we are like now and the future roadmap. Again, the tools are just a means to an end. You have to always keep asking the why, the why, the why, the why. So we are focusing on building the right product for now and for the future. At Nigeria Work, we believe the Nigerian youth feels about 70% of the workforce, probably even up to 80 or 90. The workforce from 18 to 25 is so much in Nigeria, and we want to tap into that workforce. That bro, you might not even have a secondary school degree, you might not have your WAEC, but you can hustle. That's why our hashtag is Nigeria Work Pays. You can hustle as a driver, get a job as a driver, make 5,000 naira per week, 5,000 naira per hour as a cleaner, all those white collar jobs. And eventually, as we launch from city to city to city, we are building the right products for Port Harcourt. What will work in Port Harcourt might not work. Thank God, Hope went to University of Port Harcourt. Might not work in University of Lagos students. University of Lagos students might more be ushers and DJs. But University of Port Harcourt students might more be, I don't know what's reading in Port Harcourt. Hope, can you tell me what University of Port Harcourt students do when you were there?
So I think, what do they do as in?
Like, what kind of jobs do they do, like, outside also?
And they also do this ushering work at events. They do catering. In fact, just the major things. And I think those are the major things I know that most of my friends do, I noticed.
Mm-hmm. So, like, another example, for example, could be, now, let's take, maybe say, Federal Polytechnic of Ilaro. Federal Polytechnic of Ilaro is now being turned to a Federal University of Technology. So the dynamic kind of students that will be coming to Federal Poly Ilaro will be different from the past kind of students. More students will go to Federal University of Technology Ilaro, because there's this kind of discrimination that it's Polytechnic. So as a product manager, you are just constantly thinking down the line. I keep skipping the word. 5-10 years down the line, our pally pay. As you're thinking as a product manager, you're thinking, okay, what is the product vision? What's the roadmap? You're writing your user stories faster. Our product call yesterday, there was a product that helps you write your user stories faster in max 3 days. If you cannot write your user stories in 3 days, something is wrong. Prioritizing features, working closely with engineering, the Mr. Great and the design teams, the Mr. Oluwaseun Real Touch and Nigeria Work, gathering and analyzing user feedback, ensuring product solves real user problems. I need a transfer on Pali Pay. Can you solve that for me and make sure this money, as I'm sending it out, there is no issue? On Software Bank, I want to save money and get my money back in 5 months. You get real user problems. It's 2 p.m. in New York here. I want it to be short and concise. So next time, for our next class, we will go into managing product life cycles from ideation to launch. We'll go more into ChatPRD, go more into Jira, go more into Trello, go into Asana, backlogs and sprint planning, of course Figma, and then maybe touch a little bit on Miro. You get it's a long semester, and the goal is for you to get remote jobs here in New York. That's the goal. To be able to say I was trained through CHSG Academy, and I know how to use analytics too. I know how to use mixed panel. You get, and I still have an understanding of the product marketing, which is bringing the product to the market and driving adoption. Because at the end of the day, if your positioning and messaging is right and you're not driving adoption, you're playing. All right. So thank you so much for your time. And for those watching on YouTube, if you have any questions, it will be in the description section. So just hope you can close the class.
Okay,
Any
thank you
questions?
so
Any
much.
questions? Any questions? Mr. Austin, any questions?
I don't think there are
Anybody?
any questions. I think, is it still on transit? So are you on transit?
Yeah, I'm sure he's on transit. He's just listening.
Ngwan.
You can type your questions in the chat box. We'll wait maybe like 1 minute for you to type if there are any questions, or you can just say no questions. All right. So any questions? Hope chat PRD. Just play around with it. Create your profile. The tools are just the tools are there. You get the tools are there. Like even for product marketing, understanding all these customer segments and personas. The personas are the kind of customers you want. The 18 to 30, 18-year-old 18-year-old persona is different from the 32-year-old persona. You create personas and just say, okay, this kind of customer is married, you get, and then you get to the psychic. It's a lot of psychology. Yes, you're collaborating with sales, you're collaborating with comms, you're collaborating with growth teams. So what you actually learn at CHSG working with us is that's why I like a lot of academic students to come in. But we will talk about that. Come in, get work day to day. Yet, and if you do want to work with us, you can send your CV and cover letter to careers. We have hundreds of CVs there now, but we do go through each and every one of them. Trust me, HR goes through it because the best way you can drive demand and measure adoption in your own product that you are building at Abeokuta at Ilori is to work with a world-class organization like CHSG, see how these things are done right. Initially, you might be the only one doing product management and product marketing and founder and designer and developer, but eventually you know how it is done right and you know where you need to be. You know how to use HubSpot, you know how to use MailChimp, you know how to use Intercom, you know how to use SME Rush, you know how to use Ahrefs for marketing insight, you know how to use Canva, you know how to use Google Slides for content creation. You get on and on and on. The goal at the end of the day is ensure the product meets user needs as a manager. For product marketing, ensure those needs are clearly communicated to the right audience at the right time. If you come and tell me I should drink maybe wine or a alcoholic drink early in the morning, it might not be the right time. But if you come at after hours, you might sell a lot. All right. So I don't think no questions. That means I made perfect sense or not. Next time, my name is Oluwaseun. They call me. Hope you can close out the class.
Okay, thank you so much. We really do appreciate the session. I must say, I learned a lot, and I'm still looking forward to the other classes that we'll be having, like one or choke. Use on one or choke us. Anyway, I'm just joking. So thank you so much for everyone that is joining from YouTube, and and whosoever will be watching the recording. If you have any question, like you said, go to our website, drop a question. On YouTube also, you can drop your questions. We are always here. Me personally, I'm always here to respond to your questions. So that will be the end for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Mr. Austin, we're grateful for your presence. We're grateful. Thank you, sir. Okay then. Good night.